Folks, Manard Warren, I wanted to talk about something that as commissioned salespeople, we've all experienced, we've all heard the numbers. And the number I wanted to talk about today is when we're cold calling, we are taught that we are going to have approximately 5% success. Survey after survey, study after study actually shows that when salespeople cold call, they typically have 5% success. Well, I just want to explain why that number is what it is. And it goes to something called dormant pain and active pain. Typically, as a commissioned salesperson, we've been taught to call and try to set sales appointments with the quote unquote problem owners within the companies that we're calling on. Now, in small companies, problem owners may also be decision makers. But if you're a mid-market salesperson or a large market account representative, in all likelihood, the problem owner that you're making efforts to get an appointment with, they're a recommender. They are not a decision maker. So let's start with that. So here we are trying to get an appointment. For instance, I do business with some wireless companies, and it's very common for a wireless account executive or salesperson to call into a company for the first time and say, could I speak to the person that handles your wireless needs? Okay. Right there, based upon what I said as that salesperson, it's going to get me to a certain level in the hierarchy of that organizational chart. And in all likelihood, it's going to get me to the problem owner, but not a decision maker. So here we are. The problem owner, let's say, is the director of IT. Okay, on their things to do list today, they've got about 20, 25, 30 things to do, all things that are on their active things to do list today. And here we come from out of the blue, making an effort to get in their world, on their schedule, get a sales appointment. Now, the only way that we're typically going to get their attention is if their boss has told them, and I'm going to go back to my scenario that I just created. If their boss has just told them in the last day, 2 days, 3 days, we need to look at a new wireless provider because the one we have is making all types of mistakes, dropping coverages, et cetera, et cetera. Now their dormant pain has now become active because their boss put a new things to do item on their list. Just so happens, because of our diligence and preparation and luck, we reach out to that person while they were experiencing active pain and we get an appointment. Let me recap. Why is cold calling only 5% effective? It's because typically what we're doing is we're going in at the wrong level in the organizations that we're calling on. Well, why does that happen? It's all predicated and based on what do we say when we make that initial outreach to that company that's our prospect. What words come out of our mouth, or what do we type in that email, and who's it going to be meant for or intended for? If I'm calling saying, could I speak to the person that handles your wireless needs, there is virtually a 100% guarantee in a mid-level company or a large company that I'm going to get somebody who's a recommender. Here's where it gets interesting. You lay your best, let's say you do get that person on the phone, and you lay your best sales pitch ever on that person about how you can save them this, how they can retrieve that, how they're going to benefit from this. And you just go through the list of problems you solve and the benefits that they would see if they actually considered moving their business to your company. And after you give them the best sales pitch that you've ever given them, the person looks you square in the eyes and says, could you send me information on that? That is a 100% guarantee that you're talking to the wrong person. It would be like me calling into a company, speaking to someone in sales training, and me saying that we help companies increase their sales. In fact, one of my clients just almost doubled their sales as a result of their sales teams participating in my workshops. And then that person in sales training saying, well, that's interesting. Could you send me information on that? No, that was the information. The information was about the result of my service being engaged and being adopted and being adapted. So anytime that you're using your best sales pitch and you're using your best stuff, and the person that you're in conversation with says, send me information on that, that should trigger a thought in your head. This person can give me advice. They can coach me, perhaps. But if I ask them to make a decision, they're going to say no, because they don't have the authority to say yes. So with that being the case, here's my suggestion. Let's raise our sights and start using our best, most compelling verbiage and information about our services on people that actually care about the bottom line. We're going to need to go a couple of levels up. And we certainly can't call on that first outreach or in that email. We can't be talking all about product. Once you start talking all about the product that you're selling, it's, again, a virtual guarantee. You're going to get someone who is only a recommender. And I'm not saying that's horrible, because they can give you advice, they can give you coaching, they can become your internal champion. But please don't ask them for a decision, because number one, they're going to lead you on. They're going to ask for information, and all because they don't want to say these words. Maynard, I hate to tell you this, but I'm not high enough in my company to make this decision. You really need to talk to my boss or my boss's boss. Well, people have pride and they don't want to say those things. So instead of saying that they are too low in the company to tell you yes or no, what they say instead is, please send me some information on that. And now if you're expecting them to give you a decision, a lot of bad things are happening. So if any of those experiences are currently occurring in your sales career, set your sights higher. Have a compelling message not about your product, but about what kind of problems does it solve, and also what kind of benefits are realized when a company actually utilizes your solutions. And share that message with someone who cares. And normally it's going to be 1 level, 2 level, maybe even 3 levels above where you're trying to get your sales appointment. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you have a great day.